Sandy, you have 7 kids. You can definitely relate to this next segment, this next story. How to get your kid to cut their hair. Here's Nanny Robina with some help.
Now, why don't you spray the doll's hair there? Spray the doll's hair? Spray Rapunzel's hair. Well, you know, there are a lot of children out there that when they go to the hair salon, the hairdressers, and they have their hair cut, for some reason they develop a bit of a fear. And it's because it's something that is not in their everyday part of play, everyday routine. It is something that you do basically, every 4 to 6 months, depending on how your hair grows. So children enter that atmosphere in the hair salon and they sometimes develop a bit of a fear.
We went to go get his hair cut, and he's sitting there and he just cried and cried and cried, and they're cutting and they're like, do you want us to continue? And I'm like, I'm totally embarrassed by this. But we left because I did a little bit of trim when he was in a good mood.
I think some of the ways you can overcome that fear is by introducing play first. So let the kids do your hair, let them put rollers in. Perhaps not let them cut it, unless you're really brave, but get them outside, like we did today. At least if you've incorporated it into play, it's kind of given that, like that little bit of security. You know, he's had the head sprayed with water, he's had his hair combed, and we've used Rapunzel's hair, and we've had a little cut. And so it's the first step. Continue that play.
I think next time I'm going to go whenever he's in a really, really good mood. Not necessarily when it works for me or anybody else, when it works for him, when he's happy that day. Oh, let's go get his haircut, right?
You know, if he's in the chair and he's going to throw an almighty tantrum, it's just not worth doing it. Walk away, come back another day.
Here she is in studio, Nanny Robina, to walk us through this time that can be scary for some kids. Sometimes if it's a little boy, it's just the sound of that razor. That's what it was for Sydney. So you're saying maybe get them started a little bit early. When you're going to the hairdresser, the hairstylist, maybe they can come along and see what it's all about. I used to go with my mom and organize the rollers and the carts.
I got to tell you, as a nanny, I always did it anyway. Boss's time and I'm getting paid for it. No, seriously. But did she hear me say
and now
that?
They all know.
Now they all know. But no, I would take the little one along and he'd be in the stroller either beside me. There'd be times that he's on my lap. Yeah. And obviously, if you're going for bangs and you want him straight, do not have the child sitting on your lap. That's all I'm going to say. But at least it's exposed to that environment. Sometimes you take a child into a new setting. Yeah. That alone is very alarming for the child. It's like never been in a hairdresser's before, you know, and it's like seeing all these people and everybody stands and looks at him and says how cute he or she is. You know, kids start freaking out. Too much. It's too overwhelming.
Right. Also go to hairdressers or haircutting places that have kids there. They should maybe see other kids getting their hair cut.
Yeah, you know what, if you've got a friend going, you know, make a trip out of it. Take him along so he can watch. If you can have 2 of them go together, even better. Right. Because they can sit and giggle and pull faces in the mirror. A lot of the hair salons today, they have these little toys that they can sit in, like, you know, it's like a, I don't know.
Like a mall toy almost, like a little airplane or whatever.
Exactly.
They make it real fun now for kids, man.
Oh my gosh, it's like the ultimate salon for kids. There's like TVs going on and everything.
Yeah, no, it's great. So you also want to make sure that the person doing the cut is somebody who is friendly with kids. Yeah. Someone who's going to be good with the kids. Like for this one, for instance, is not going to have a problem.
Yes,
she's very brave. She will go anywhere to get her hair cut. Yeah, she's going to be good with it. She's like, I'm fine. Yeah, they're clapping for you.
And I'll give you a big smile.
But make sure the person that's going to be doing the haircut can actually, you know, handle a wiggly child. Kids aren't going to just sit there like adults are. They're going to be wiggling around.
And let me tell you, I witness this in hair salons where a child is actually trying to, you know, they're sitting in the chair and they may be fidgety, and I've heard them kind of address the child in a very curt manner. Yeah. It's not nice.
That's not going to help.
I want to get up and clonk him one and say, hey, don't speak to the kids like that. Right. You know, it's like, you want to make sure that the relationship between you and the hairdresser, or the hairdresser and the child, is a nice one, okay? Yeah. Has to be understanding, has to be patient, have that chat. If you don't feel that chemistry, don't take them.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You're saying the other thing you could do is actually use distractions. So I do this with Eva when I'm, you know, blow drying her hair after a wash. She gets to watch her Dora DVD. sometimes if you throw a movie up, you can actually do some of the cutting yourself.
Absolutely.
I don't cut her hair, but I work
can.
through it.
And I know there are times that, you know, that hair is in the eyes. I know, Mums, what you like. You got to hack it off. I know you like, I can't take it anymore. They start off with the palm tree up there.
Yeah.
And, you know, they haven't discovered how to pull the band out.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, you know, they figured that out. And I know that you get to that point where you've got to hack the, you know, you've got to hack the band. So use something that will keep them busy and choose your time carefully. Okay, now I don't mean over a bowl of macaroni cheese. We don't want the hair going in there. But you do have to make sure your child is probably really engrossed in something, because what you don't want to do is approach a young child with a sharp pair of scissors and get caught, you know, and you know, you'd be going off to the emergency hospital. We don't want to take the top of an ear off.
No way.
So be careful
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about bribery, my favorite thing to do. So what my mom used to do is she would put an O. Henry bar at the side of the sink, and then she would wash my hair while I had the O. Henry bar in sight the whole time.
I'd let you
because
wash my hair
hated having my hair washed.
I'd let you wash my hair for an O. Henry bar, yeah.
I'll do almost anything for a chocolate bar. So bribing a child can work. You can say, hey, we're going to visit your favorite store afterwards, but you got to get through the haircut.
Yeah, you know what? Have the chat before, and you want to sit down and say, okay, listen, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go to the hairdresser. We're going to get your hair cut. And if you're a very good boy, you can sit and we get that nice haircut done. We're going to go and do whatever after.
Right.
You know, but this is what needs to take place first.
Okay.
So you want to follow it up. It is a form of bribery. You want to follow it up with a trip to favorite fast food, favorite, you know, dollar store, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And don't trivialize it, huh? If they're feeling a little fearful about it, you're saying actually recognize that this could be a legitimate fear.
Well, I think that's for everything. When a child is upset or fears something, I hear it all too often, don't be silly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, if somebody said that to you and you were fearing something, you wouldn't appreciate it, so don't expect your children to.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, acknowledge their fear and work with it. Just say, I understand. I can understand why you're scared, and, you know, and this is how we cut the hair. And just like you saw on the film there, you know, use the dolls and make it a form of play and try to do it that way. But yeah.
It's all a stage, and they'll get past it, and at some point they might love the whole experience. So thank you for the tips.